Have you ever had this fire gut in your feeling where you know that one day you are meant to be recognized and known for your craft? And it's always the ones who feel like they are left out and they never feel like they could fit in.
괜찮아? 괜찮아요? 괜찮아.
But then you realize it's because you were born to stand out. And you see, a lot of celebrities and famous people actually have this feeling. Take a look at Bretman Rock, Tyler, your mom Ashley, and so many more celebrities and influencers and content creators. They have this exact feeling, and I'm confident that you and I share this feeling as well.
At the beginning, you knew you were going to make it, that it was going to work out.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's a common feeling for a lot of creators. Honestly, I think Samir and I, when we started our channel, we felt like that. We felt like this is going to work, we're going to make it.
Yeah.
It wasn't the reality for a really long time, and that like hit us in the face. But I'm curious, where does that confidence come from at the start?
I guess this is where my views on like failure as a person are probably pretty interesting. I feel like really consider failure as something that will happen, or I just don't like that word. I'm like, if I try something and it doesn't work, it's not like a failure, or I'm not a failure. I just think it's a learning experience. And if anything, like I got like a little bit further to what I'm trying to do.
Lila, how did you get famous as a singer? I'm not famous yet. Yeah, so I'll tell you when I'm famous.
I'll tell you when I'm famous, like this.
Bitch, I went to school that day feeling like everybody knew me. I love that, Bretman.
To whoever is watching this, I know for a fact that you are going to be so successful and you are going to thrive and make it, and you are going to stand out from the crowd. These platforms like YouTube and TikTok literally give you the space to do so. And if you clicked on this video, you were meant to see this. Right now, you're probably a small creator who knows that you will make it big one day. Maybe you already have the blueprint and step-by-step guide on how to build a YouTube channel and how to make the best content. But what if you're missing one key factor that a lot of people don't talk about? And that is how you deliver and your energy. And that's when you really get ahead of the curve and you start seeing that growth. But Vivian Lee, what if I'm already being myself? Well, when you think about it and you actually analyze your videos, do you feel like you're talking as if you're in an interview, or you are talking to a friend or someone who you are comfortable with? Because for me, when I've analyzed my past videos, I had a full-on script and I would say everything word by word. It would just feel very robotic. Even though I thought that I was being myself, there was still that element missing. And you know what? Once you shift your energy and you just be yourself and just talk to the camera as if you're talking to someone else that you know in real life or who you're comfortable with, that's when the magic happens, and your audience can really pick up on it as well. Because of that, I get so many comments to this day where people saying, oh wow, I thought you were a big YouTube channel, you know, I thought you were famous. Look, you've probably seen so many videos and you know that there's a plethora of tips and values online. And look, I am no expert, but I'm going to break down powerful mindset tips and tricks and hacks for your content creation based off the data I collected, research, and also experimenting with my own content for the past few years. And with all of that, I'm going to break it down in bite-sized information for you in this video. Now, before we get into it, yeah! Now, before we get into it, I just want to remind you guys, if you are on the verge of giving up right now, I just want to let you know that sometimes you don't have to physically see the results to know that you are heading in the right direction. Sometimes you can internally and spiritually feel it. Now, if you're watching this video right now and you're a long-form content girly, but you're either number one, scared to put out those videos, or number two, you just feel like it can become a chore, or you just struggle with consistency, then I would highly suggest getting into short-form content. Still do long-form content if you can, but try getting into short-form content. Listen, I've always wanted to pursue long-form content, but the thing with me, I always struggle with consistency. So that's why I want to say thank you to TikTok. Thank you to short-form content, because before actually making long-form content, I got into short-form content. And honestly, that got me into the habit of posting consistently, because on TikTok you have to post 3 times a day. So I really had to train myself to implement that habit. So naturally over time it transferred over to my long form content, which really helped me out. And I feel like if I never created short form content, I would really struggle with consistency when it comes to long form content. Now, just going back to what I was saying, when if you talk to the camera, just talk to the camera as if you were talking to a friend in real life. I mean, literally channel that energy, because when you think about it, right, when you meet someone someone in person, or when you talk to your friend or family member in person, right? And you say something and you think, what I said was really entertaining or funny or actually lighthearted. Wow, damn, what I said was really deep and like impactful, right? So why not share that? Let that not go to waste. Just basically think about how you can create that opportunity and share that with others online when they don't have the chance to see it offline. So why not let them see it online? To be honest, this is how I fucking felt for the most longest time, okay? I said so many shit where I was just like, that was really entertaining. You know what? My jokes were pretty funny. How come not much people don't know about this? And I wish more people heard what I said. I just thought it would be a waste for people not to hear that. And obviously, you don't have to share every single detail of your life, but being able to share things here and there, how special is that, right? Now my next point is become a leader and not a follower. Create content that actually speaks to you. And when you create content that speaks to you, you build an engaging and loyal community. And speaking of community, don't let numbers desensitize you. Nowadays, when you create content, especially short form content, you get that instant dopamine. Don't let that get in the way of you feeling discouraged or you feeling like those numbers aren't enough. Because when you think about it, at the end of the day, those are real human beings watching your content, you know? Every single person is a human being watching your content. They are supporting you. You have even silent supporters as well who support you from behind the scenes. I think it's good to kind of remind yourself that, because when you get to the point where you are extra big and you make it and you are famous, you don't forget about the actual human beings who support you, you know? One of the things I really appreciate about YouTube is the comment sections, because there's a longer word limit on YouTube compared to TikTok, you know? It creates room for meaningful interactions. So don't forget about your subscribers. Actually engage with them and interact with them and let them know that you appreciate them. And guess what? Authenticity always wins. I literally mentioned that in a previous video that I made about how you're not wasting time creating content, because really you aren't wasting time creating content. It's like entrepreneurship or when you create business, right? You spend and invest all this time and energy into it. You're probably thinking, oh, this is not going to work out, you know, I'm just wasting time. But really, you're not wasting time. Even though you're not there yet, what if the universe is trying to protect you right now? What if you're not ready for it, you know? If you feel like you get stuck in analysis paralysis thinking, what niche do I choose? What content do I make? I just want to tell you right now, don't be afraid to explore the type of content that you want to make and that you enjoy doing and that you love. I would really highly suggest just creating anything that you want. Anything that you basically like or enjoy. It can be literally anything. Just thinking back on how I used to create content, I would literally put myself in a box, and I knew that I wanted to create also like beauty related content, also miscellaneous content as well, but I feel like I couldn't do that. I feel like I had to be strictly in the fitness niche, and because of that, especially on like Instagram or TikTok, like I would only make strictly that content. And so when I stopped making that content, it felt like my following wasn't as loyal as it was before. That's why it's really important, again, to be yourself and to show your personality, because at the end of the day, I think creating a personal brand is even more unique because people come to watch your content because of you, because of who you are as a person. I think a really fun way of tapping into YouTube celebrity energy is when you introduce yourself with your full name or what you go by, right? Whether that's online or even face to face. So say, for example, even at one of my lowest points in my life, I would just introduce myself as my full name. So I would hear a lot of people say, oh, hi, I'm this, but they would only say their first name. And when I said my full name, the switch, it gave me so much confidence, and it kept reaffirming every time that I did that. It kept reaffirming to myself that, hey, I'm going to be known and I am who I am. I am the Vivian Lee. So doing that really helped me embrace the identity who I wanted to be. Maybe you haven't fully embraced your identity as a YouTuber yet when you try to introduce yourself in real life or online, but maybe next time try introducing yourself as your full name, because this is really going to help you solidify your identity and what you want to bring to the world. So my next point is make sure you write your ideas down right away. When it comes to creating content, there can be a lot of creative flow, but there can also be a lot of blockage as well. Make sure you write your ideas down right away, because sometimes you can forget it. You might think, I'm not going to forget it, but no. There will be ideas that you will forget that could have been a really great video potential idea. Speaking of a creative block, let's talk about that, because sometimes when you do run out of ideas, how can you get your creative flow going again? In that case, don't underestimate the power of doing simple and mindful activities. Just simply exercising, going for a walk, listening to music, painting, and just doing other mindful activities such as reading or even listening to podcasts. And while you're doing those things, just think for a moment, what ideas do I feel like it's flowing in my head right now? When you keep that in mind, those ideas just come naturally flowing. Speaking of underestimating, don't underestimate learning from other small creators as well and watching other small creators' videos. As much as I'm a creator on YouTube, I'm also a consumer on YouTube as well. You look at other small creators, just because they have a small following doesn't mean that they provide good information. They actually have a lot of good information to offer, but they're just so underrated. Let's talk thumbnail, because to this day, I still struggle with creating the right thumbnail to get clicks. And here's what I learned. You can implement all these strategies and stuff when creating a thumbnail, but the ultimate key to making a really great thumbnail and getting those clicks is when you make a thumbnail, keep in mind and think, what is gonna pique people's curiosity? So my next point is having good audio. I made a rookie mistake with this because in the beginning of my videos, my audio was like shit. When it comes to audio, even if you don't have a microphone, just make sure that your background noise isn't like noisy, because chances are people like me, I get so turned off when it comes to background noise. If it's too loud in the background and so much is going on, I get so put off by the video and I just click out. So really take that into consideration. I'm going to tell you guys a bit about how YouTube literally became my therapy, because as someone who has been introverted for most of their lives and has tendencies to keep things to themselves, when I feel like I can't really talk to anyone else, I have those feelings of loneliness and isolation. I found that once I started whipping out the camera and talking to it, and sometimes I don't even have to even publish it online, but just doing that helps me not only get creative, but it's also very therapeutic, because it feels like I'm able to just vent out my emotions. So when I don't have the chance to journal, I get to vent it out by talking to the camera about it. Does that sound sad? I don't even know. Oh my gosh. I started my YouTube channel back in 2009 and I made videos here and there as a kid, but then I deleted and I stopped making videos, but I tried getting back into it maybe around last year. And before taking it seriously, I looked at my channel and I was like, hold on. I have 500 subscribers? How's that possible? How did I get 500 subscribers? And I realized it was from a viral video on TikTok, but I also realized that 500, that is halfway of fulfilling the requirement of 1,000 subscribers to get monetized. Obviously I have to get the 4,000 watch hours, but think about it, that is halfway, which means if I can achieve that goal, I can also achieve the goal of getting 4,000 hour watch time. And guess what? I did hit 1,000 subscribers, which I thought was not going to be possible. I think the very moment I realized I should actually try something different. Maybe I should try YouTube. Was I actually had a dream and I was actually overseas. So one night I had a dream and Michelle Fan came into my dream. I can't fully remember what it was, but we were in this really big house and I was painting with her, and then I whipped out my laptop and I was editing a YouTube video. And then I was talking to her and I was like, oh, how does this look? And she's like, it's really good. And she was like, you know what, you're gonna get really far with this. She's like, you know what, you can do it. Why not get into YouTube? Make your dreams come true. And I don't know if Michelle Fan will ever see this video, but I just want to say thank you for being in my dreams, because honestly, as cliche as it sounds, but literally YouTube has changed my life so much. And also I'm just really thankful to the universe, because every time I get an epiphany, I realize it all comes from I realize it all comes from my dreams. Not even joking, guys. My biggest weight loss journey, before taking the action of claiming back my confidence, my voice, my power, my body, my mindset, I literally had a dream as well, because I realized it was building up to the point where I was so fed up. And if you guys want to know more about my journey, definitely watch that video about how I stopped taking the cold turkey approach when losing weight. And lastly, before I end this video, what is really preventing you from moving forward and taking the action steps that you want, or really seeing the growth that you want? Sometimes it could be your limiting beliefs as well. For a really long time, I've had a lot of limiting beliefs surrounding creating content, and a lot of people don't mention this, but sometimes you need to reflect on your limiting beliefs and say why those aren't true. So say for example, imposter syndrome, which is very common. I struggled with that for a really long time, and even to this day I think, what if like I don't know enough? The thing is, the knowledge that you have already is enough, and obviously you can upskill yourself from there, but what you already have you can literally offer. So guys, that is all for today's video. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. It means the world to me. If you found this video useful, don't forget to give it a like, give it a subscribe. If you're new around here, hi, I'm Vivian Lee. I make content that validates your experience, your emotions and your feelings, so that you can feel heard and you can feel seen. But without further ado, I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.
It's the things that you do, and it's the smile on your face. And as time goes by, I know I'm in a better.
Hi, I'm Vivian, and my surname's Lee. You can call me Angel, cause that's my second name, but my real name is Vivian, and this is what I look like. And I'm gonna sing you a song called Gotta Go My Own Way. It's written from, I'm going to sing a song called I Can't Take My Eyes Off You. It's from Vanessa and Zac Efron. Goes like this: 1 and 2 and a 1 and a 2, 3, 4. You're never gonna get you what you're gonna feel. Oh, you're never gonna get you what you're gonna have. Oh, never even cross my. Oh, but I'll never hit the 9. Oh, things change when I turn the 9 now soon. Yeah. Oh. No one knows what the future gonna do. Nothing, no. I can't take my